Hello, this is another video. This one's covering media, which is part of the syllabus for the advanced qualification presentation software using PowerPoint. I'm Stephanie Toman, and this one's pretty straightforward. I'm sure that you're doing lots of this. You may not be doing much of it in PowerPoint, but it just goes to show what you can do within there. So it's part of the syllabus for the exam if that's what you're doing, but it's also useful so that you don't have to go to other editing medias and such. So you could just do things in PowerPoint, like recording and then putting in sounds and videos, etc., to make it a little bit more exciting. So I hope you enjoy this one, whether you're doing the qualification or not, just used it in general. Enjoy. I'm going to look at particularly inserting sounds and inserting videos. It's quite a small area to cover this one. I think a lot of you are probably doing this already, so you're well aware of how to do things, but there's always a little bit more to it when you're in the exam, so you have to follow instructions. So inserting sounds, we're talking about the insert tab up here, and then you've got this media area here. So obviously you've got audio, you can have stuff on your PC or you can record it yourself. Be aware that once again in the exam, you will have the audio on there to bring in. So remember, it's simulated, a simulated Z drive. You don't have to go and find it. It's going to be in there where your C would normally be, a local drive. And you work on it simulated as if you're taking it from that drive or saving it to that drive. So that's where you would find things. And then the video area is very much the same. As you'll see, when we actually go in and do something, then you get extra toolbars coming up at the end. So we'll have a look at that too. So there's your audio, and the other one was your video. So let's have a little go at looking at something. So sound presentation could be simple, could be quite effective as well. So if you've got something that you really want to get across, music or a sound effect to bring life to your presentation, it always works really well. So on the insert tab, like we said, we've got audio, and it brings up a playback tab. So let's have a look at how that works. So I'm going to go and pick up some audio that I've got in those folders. There's a growl automatically there. It could be the Z drive if that happens. So if I double click that, there's this sound I've just brought in. I can drag it around by grabbing it. You might be asked in the exam actually to put it in a particular corner as well. Notice, as I said, the audio tools become available. So we have what they call the playback tab. It's quite useful. So you can fade stuff in and out. So if you've got something that starts, quite loud, and you can fade in, or if you want to fade stuff out, use the other option. The exam will mainly concentrate on things like the volume, the playing across slides, loop until stopped. So this is if you're in somewhere and a PowerPoint's going on in the background and you just have it looping, and the music looping as well. You can have rewind after playing or hide during the show, which is quite a common one. Okay, so playing across the slides means that it will just keep going across that slide until you get to the next one, and then this one's hide during the show. That's the example of that. If we then come down to the David Bowie Space Oddity, let's have a little play. So we'll go into Shift and F5. So as you can see, it's quite effective when you use sound behind an image, and you can, as I said before, go back to your playback. You can have it starting automatically, which is what it did. As soon as I went into the PowerPoint, it just started. So you can have it either there or on a click. You've got your volume once again. You've got your play across slides, loop until stopped. Then you've got these, and I couldn't see it while it was playing because I had that tipped on. Okay, so if we move on, you've got things where you could bring in, you could have an ambulance, and then you could insert, if you go to your audio from your PC and then go into our sounds as a folder, that you can pick up that I put up there with your materials, and there's the sound of an ambulance. So you could delete that one. Got this one going. Bring that over so we can grab it. See what can happen sometimes, you can't grab them. So if I play that, whoa, that is quite loud. So you can see that this could be a video. If we come on to the next one, you can have videos. So here's a video. I'll just delete this and bring it in so you can see. So you can get videos. Be careful when you're on campus, because on campus IT services will block certain things coming through, which is understandable. And you can go and get, as we did before, go and get a video this time. So you could get one, a video on my PC. I'll pop some videos as well. So if you go back into those folders, in the videos there's an engineering one, which you can insert. And you could resize if you wanted it to sit nicely into your PowerPoint, whatever you want to do. Or take up the whole screen, and then you can see that. A nice thing to watch. So it's a really useful way of getting a message across when you've got an audience. You could have that playing while they're sat there. Once again, go back to the playback. You've got it start on a click, but you could have it automatically. And you could have it looping if it's only a short video. This one here is just, I love this for fun really. This is on YouTube, the eyes watching, the dogs watching the person. It's quite hilarious the way they've taken it. So you can get a lot of fun. But they can also demonstrate things in a PowerPoint as well, and get your audience involved or engaged with you. If you had kids or teenagers or something, you might want to put something up that's not quite so boring. In here you could pop your own video in, your own music, so it's worth having a go at that as well, or just get a PowerPoint up and have a go and use some of the stuff I've given you. We've got like introduce an animation. We're going to look at some objects, graphics, bullets, charts, all, if you like, objects. So graphics, bullets, charts, not just things like pictures or shapes. All of these things are objects. So if we look at this, if you select all the bullets, and then we go to the animations tab this time, so this is just like a little bit into animation about customizing animation. If we just highlight that again carefully, so I'm not over highlighting, and then we just bring in appear, they all get the same bullet. If we go to the animations tab and animations pane, that brings that up here. So if I go into a PowerPoint mode, just let me just change my display for you. And if I click, they all come in together, and then escape. So if you don't want to do them like that, because it would be very unusual, you can actually click on here and we can delete. Just remove them all. Notice when I did that, if I undo, notice how the numbers disappear from here too. So when it comes to animation, if you just click in the first one, then do the appear, it showed it very quickly, and you can see how it looks slightly different because it's one animation and they're automatically coming in one after the other. You've got an extra one there, so you could, that could be for that, so you can delete that in a number, or you can delete it up here. If you wanted to bring in a picture, let's say we wanted to insert, let's go for picture. Pictures, let's go in there and I'll see if I can pick something. There's computer. Let's bring it right down. Let's say we brought that in and we wanted to animate that. Animations, we can go and we could do a floating. But notice how that's got number 6. What if we wanted to float it in after bullet point 2? So what we can do is click on here and we can move it up. So we can move it up so it becomes after bullet 2. It's now 3. So in the exam they may ask you to do customization with regard to how something's animated. So make sure that you're aware of the animation pane, you're aware of the effect, you're aware of all the other effects which we'll be looking at in a lot more detail soon, and the way that you can do the duration how long it lasts, and if you want a delay on it or something like that. So that's the animation. You can have a go at that on there if you want on your own and see if you can do the same. So bullets and graphics. If you've got animation on a title like that, and they asked you in the test to remove just that animation, you would just go up to that, click on delete, and it's disappeared. You won't affect the other animation. Okay, so animation continues. We're going to look at doing it to a chart that we can create. So let's copy this data from this slide 16, and go into slide 17. Use the insert chart feature. I'm happy with the column. Okay. Okay, once that comes in, let's paste, right click, paste, match destination rather than the other feature, because then it will keep it nice and small and doable. So we've got to get rid of this series 2 and series 3 because they don't exist, and then we've got something called category 4 going on over here, which is that item there. So these need to be gone. So let's use the blue handle. Let's drag across, take the series out and take the category 4 out, and watch them disappear from the slide. So now it looks better the way it is. We can also bring the slide in a little bit so we can see the chart better. Okay, so we can close that. We're happy with that. So now we're going to click on here. We're going to go to the animations tab and we're going to do an appear. And if we go through a preview of that, it just comes in. It's not really doing very much, is it? But if we then click back on it, we've still got this bit here. And if we actually do some effects, so we have it as by series, we've only got one series. So if we did it by category, which are the weeks, and do that, that might help. So let's go in and have a look at that. Just bear with me while I change my display. Are we ready? So on a click, there's the grid. 2, there's the next chart. So it's coming in by category. And then escape. So when you look at this, you can see, we drop it down there. It's got what it's doing by category, and we can do lots of other things with it as well. But it's really useful to know that you can animate bullets, charts. You can obviously animate pictures of all sorts. We can even just put some smiley faces in, and you can animate those. So if you go to animation, you can do things like the custom path. So you can do that and double click, and then it will follow that path. So there's lots of things you can do on animation. It's really good. And your media stuff as well, all in here. Really good way to get things across. And even though it's not in the exam, there is a screen recording. So if you do want to record over, if I click on there, you'd select the area you wanted to record. You might have a PowerPoint up in there. And then you click the record, and then it will it will put in what you're saying, the same way as I've done. And then you can put that out as an MP4 or an MP3, usually an MP4. So, yeah, that's media part finished. So if you want to go on to do the week revision questions that go with this, they are following. Okay, thank you for your time.